Hey, my name is Juan. I'm 21 years old. I'm a senior at Flagler, studying liberal arts with the main focus as anthropology. And I had a head injury when I was 15. I was in a little village called Paipa in Colombia that is known for its this little resort area that has a lot of hot springs. Right, I'm Colombian, that's why I was there. And it was the first time I traveled alone without my parents, and my family was taking me around Colombia, and we were like on the last leg of the trip. We had like maybe 3 or 4 more days there, and they decided to stop by Paipa to see the springs, and there's like this gorgeous like lake that you can bike around. And well, I saw springs, and we rented out bikes. And in Colombia, like the hills here, they don't really like go like this. It's more of a drop like this. And the roads are just incredibly bumpy, holes everywhere. But I was riding down with no helmet. That's important. And this part is possibly inaccurate because I can't actually remember what happened. But I was riding down the hill with my bike, and to my knowledge, and this might be a completely false memory, I tried the brakes, and the brakes didn't work. And so I was coming on to traffic at one point, and the median of the 2 separate roads, I think I tried to use that to stop myself, and after that I just really don't remember. My cousin was right behind me, but the hill was so steep that she was behind me and she couldn't see me in front. So when she got there, apparently I stood up and she was freaking out, but I was conscious, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm totally fine." And I fall right back down. So she gets help, she calls the ambulance, and we go to a little hospital in that village. And they're like, "Yeah, he's totally fine." They did some x-rays and things, and I was totally okay. And then I started throwing up blood. And then they're like, "Okay, he's bleeding internally. We have to get him to a hospital right then and there." And there's only 2 or 3 neurosurgeons in Colombia that can do emergency surgeries. And for some odd reason, one of them was like 30 minutes away with no patients. So they like rushed me off to the hospital. And I had then gained consciousness again, in a bed, naked, chained to the bed. And I totally didn't remember what happened at all. They chained me down because I apparently was taking off my bandages after the surgery. And eventually when the nurse came in, she was like, "Yeah, you had this happen to you." And like all of the memory kind of flashed back, and I was like, "Oh wow. Yeah, I did just fall off a bike, like that all did just happen." And later it took like three weeks to get out of the hospital, I believe. About a month for me to like be able to fully recover, as in like I can eat fully and walk around fully. The neurosurgeon said that I was 3 minutes away from dying. I had broken a bone right here and 2 bones in my forehead. One of the bones was actually slightly implanted into my brain. And the whole thing was that like if I were to have survived the surgery, I would have survived as mentally disabled. And for a while it seemed that way. That was the course that I was going to take, because everything was kind of a blur after that. My life almost like was filtered with a really deep haze of blue and nothingness. I felt as if my life was over.